Once we broke on Apple. Once Apple broke here, that was it. It's just been straight down. And hey everybody, in today's video, we're gonna go through 5 stocks to watch tomorrow. Apple. These are some pretty technical levels that we broke and then we're unable to really rally and get up today. Trading has all been in the first 15 to 20 minutes all day today. We've just been in that range. Now we've been seeing this kind of behavior often. It's pretty technical stuff that we're just sitting there within a half-hour range. Keep this in mind. You drill down into this on the daily, absolutely glaring what's going on here. We've broken that wedge line and now we're just cracking and we're going to probably continue to crack. So I would just continue to avoid this. If we take a look at some of the indicators, it tells you a really different story about what's going on out there. And once we crack, that was it. It's just been straight down. It's been somewhat of a maddening day because you're constantly trying to play these bounces in some of these larger cap names. But look at your volume. Your volume's just falling off a cliff. Nobody's going to get involved probably before PPI on Friday. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, click all notifications because we are going to do a live stream for PPI on Friday. It'll be done at 8:30 into the number. But there are names out there that are holding up. So this was a perfect day for ENPH to crack and it did not do that. It's holding that 22. I would like it if you got higher up on this bar. For example, this particular red bar, if you could get up 50% on this by the end of the day, filming this during the day, ideas and more live trading, which I plan on doing. Comment on that and let me know if that's what you want to see, more live trading or things that I do, why I create this content. If I could get up to that like 319 level, 50% of this bar, I would have a piercing pattern. I don't really have that. I just have this wonky bar where we're sitting here and quite frankly, all that's doing is forming a bear flag under 22 day. So that's not really where I want to be. I'm going to have to watch that. I'm going to have to watch that very closely. I do like this gone straight across here, right? You've just been consolidating all day long. I would keep this on my radar. I would not throw this out. And I'd be focused on where we're seeing money flow go into, not where it's coming out of so much. It's pretty obvious it's coming out of the Apples and Teslas of the world. After the first half hour, if you were short, you really made very little today, if anything. The majority of time, you just got really chopped up. It was kind of one of those days, just chop suey. If you take a look at AXSM, and this is one we've been talking about for some time, here's our key level all the way back here, and we flip it. Now, when we flip that level, it becomes support, and now you can see how for the longest time we were banging our head in here. As we were banging our head in here, we finally flipped, broke out, formed a flag, looked like we were going to go, and then pulled back the other day because it's that kind of market. Why you should be paying attention to this is going to be a new close. So that new close coming into tomorrow can lead to a very nice push higher. And that's really what we're going to want to see. We're going to want to see if we can get a nice little push higher on that tomorrow. This is not the day that you would think you'd see buying, but there we are. We're seeing it. So you might want to just jot those levels down. Toll Brothers is one that we are playing in the trading community. Also, if you do not get the newsletter, there is a link in description. Simply click on the link in description and you can get the newsletter. But Toll Brothers had good earnings. It's trading under book, not so much right now, but under book value, which is just crazy, meaning you could buy the company, sell it for parts and make money. Now not so much because of the rise that we just recently had. You're still probably under booked to be super technical about it. Look at how you're respecting these levels. You're breaking over that 200-day, you're pushing. Look at the volume that's coming in this. So to say that there's not things out there that are moving, there's definitely names out there that are moving. And this is one that I would definitely have on my radar for tomorrow. Again, we have some economic data tomorrow, jobless claims, but the real driver is going to be PPI on Friday. So make sure you tune in for the live stream. Now, we're seeing good earnings being rewarded. This was something that we did a couple times today, actually, and I'll drill into this on the 1 minute so that you can watch this. What I did was we watched the opening price and these levels that are here. So you can see these levels that are right here on this MDB. If you focus on these levels, what you'll see is you'll see nothing near them, right? Now you just click on pre and post, and what you'll see is you'll start seeing levels that line up there. So what I tend to do on economic data release days and on earnings days is I look for pivots on the pre and the post date, and then I use that as data. And I find it very helpful. So today was a pretty clear trade. We were able to get in it, pop it off the open, and run with it and did very well. And then we just simply watched it later in the day, and it just set up perfectly. How we bounce around, looks like we're about to flip this level. We look for confirmation. Once we came over VWAP, came back down for a test, and then went, that was it. It was a perfect time to get involved. And we did quite nicely with that as a day trade in the community. Now, let's say that you're not interested in day trading, because some people that watch these videos are more interested in swing trades or trying to stay in positions for longer periods of time than a day. You're going to have to wait for that 186.75. You can't really be jumping in there before you see that flip. But I would focus on those names that I just went over because you're seeing volume in them. And for those people that are looking for longer term trades, I just want to say something. Longer term, when you're shorting these names, you have to let them play out. Carvania was something that we started shorting back here in March and April. And you can see how we did. Down here, I was making fun because everyone's like, oh, he's so smart. Look how smart he is. And then up here, no one thought I was smart anymore. But this is where you added to it. And now today, you can see people picking the bones with Bank of America saying the equity's probably worth zero. Depending on your time frame is how to trade. I'm going to do some long form videos on how to marry puts and calls to positions so you can stay in them longer. It's a way to hedge. You won't make as much, but you also won't get shaken out as much. But it's definitely something to keep in mind. And if you're thinking longer term, you want to think about how you can protect your capital. But I thought that this was worth noting. Now let's get into the index. The one thing that we've been talking about for some time is the 200-day moving average. And we've been talking about why we keep rejecting there. To me, it's so obvious, right? That we're just hitting there and we're rejecting and then we're breaking this trend line. And we're going to want to see how that plays itself out. Now, how is this going to continue to play itself out? Well, we're not sure yet, but right now we've broken that trend line and we have a doji. And I just want to be really clear about this. Dojis are uncertainty. So if you break below this doji, that 391.97, we're probably going to have a really bad day if that happens. And that's definitely something that I would watch, okay? We're going to have to see again how this whole thing plays out, but that's definitely something that I would watch. You'd probably head back to that 380 level and fill in this gap down here is what I'm thinking. And the leaders of the names, they're not looking like they're going to hold. Now, I've been saying for some time that we are a little overbought, and this one rating, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in 2 years, you've only had this reading 4 times. This is, of course, S&P stocks above the 50-day moving average. Here you are back in the 90s. So you're going to want to watch this, right? This gave us a clear indication that we might be a little frothy at the time. I mean, if all the stocks are above the 50-day moving average, what's left to go up, right? If you think about it that way, it makes a little more sense. So you're starting to see us come back down. We're at that 77 level. I'd like to see us get back into the 50s. You can see how we stopped here in June and then how we rallied back up. They pulled back, rallied back up. That's really what we're looking for. I'm not suggesting we're going to take out the lows. We need to pull back, work off some of this, and then continue and then possibly push higher. Now, if you drill into the SPY today, you can see the battle that went on all day long with the VWAP. VWAP has been an excellent indicator of what's going on, and it really did us a disservice today. In other words, we were just all over the place. Every time we broke it and it looked like we were going to go higher, we just simply pulled back. Every time we broke down, it looked like we were going to correct, and we just didn't. It's to the point that if you take out all these indicators and you just strip everything else out of here, what you're going to see is a very simple pattern. And it's somewhat fascinating to me anyway. But look at this, look at this level and look at what happened today. You've been in the same range since the open for the first 15 minutes. You've just been bouncing around. Now you are making lower lows. That is irrefutable. So there is that possibility that we do head lower, and that is something that we need to be aware of. But I find it fascinating that you're staying in this range. So keep that in mind and definitely watch these levels tomorrow. If you are interested in joining the trading community, there is a link up here to be on the wait list. Simply click on the link to be added to it and go from there. Everybody have a great evening. Any comments on this video, please include them. I do read every single comment and I do respond. It's one-man shop, so it just takes me some time. Have a great night, everybody.